All right, what's up, everybody? These are my top 5 Money in the Bank moments in honor of Money in the Bank this weekend. Now, when I say Money in the Bank moments, I'm not limiting that to just moments from the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. I'm not limiting that just to Money in the Bank cash-ins. I'm not limiting that to just the Money in the Bank match. I'm talking about anything that is necessarily Money in the Bank related. So, at number 5, I'm going to start with a heartbreak. The heartbreak I'm talking about is none other than the legendary salmon suit jacket fake retirement promo by Mark Henry, which led to his match with John Cena at Money in the Bank. Now, I believe anyone listening to this right now, if you were a wrestling fan at any time circa 2012, I think that was, 2013 maybe, you knew about this promo because it was a showstopper, man. I mean, this promo had everybody fooled. It felt like a real honest-to-goodness retirement. And then Mark Henry pulled the switch up on John Cena, beat him down, and this led to his match with Cena at Money in the Bank. Now, we've all seen in the history of WWE how a great promo can launch you into championship status. See Pipe Bomb. But this one, not so much. Listen, I really thought Mark Henry might win. It really felt like a win. He had previously done the Hall of Pain, Mark Henry, and in doing that, he, I believe, was world champion twice over on SmackDown. So he'd shown that he can perform in a main event slot and be the champion, be the top heel, the top bad guy on the brand. And then plus, he just generated so much heat with that fake retirement that I was sold, man. I was all in. And of course, come Money in the Bank, he loses cleanly to John Cena. I think Cena even tapped him out. I mean, oh boy, gosh. Talk about a kick in the gut. Jeez. So yeah, that's my number 5 Money in the Bank moment, is the heartbreak of the Mark Henry John Cena match at Money in the Bank. My number 4 Money in the Bank moment is going to the first ever Money in the Bank cash-in. It was after an Elimination Chamber match. John Cena had come out victorious, and he was ready to go back to the locker room, celebrate, pop, lock, and drop it, however he might want to do it. And then that cage comes up, Vince McMahon comes out, and Edge does the first ever Money in the Bank cash-in. It was a huge deal just because it was the first, and it really set the precedent for the fact that this thing can happen at any time, and it can, be completely unexpected. And that really set the stage for all the Money in the Bank cash-ins to come. My number 3 Money in the Bank moment would have to go to... this is tough because I'm debating. I know what my top 2 are, but there's one more that I'm kind of deciding if I really want to go ahead and use this one. All right, here we go. My number 3 Money in the Bank is gonna go to Seth Rollins winning the Money in the Bank in 2014. Now, this was significant for a couple of reasons. The match itself wasn't really great, but Seth Rollins winning the Money in the Bank set the stage for what would go on to be the year that really made Seth Rollins. I mean, it really established him as a top guy in WWE. He would go on to be the feature heel on Raw, week in and week out. And it also led to his cash in at WrestleMania 31, which was, another historic event. The first time anyone cashed in during a main event. And, that was absolutely great. It was an awesome, awesome, awesome moment. And so that would be my number 3 Money in the Bank moment, with Seth Rollins winning / Seth Rollins cashing in. Actually, we could just go with Seth Rollins cashing in. That was the real star of this. I was thinking of Seth Rollins winning because it led to this, but really the moment was the cash in, right? I mean, Roman and Brock, everyone had dreaded Roman. People tried as hard as they could to reject Roman, and Seth Rollins running down with that briefcase to cash in was the validation of the fans' rejection of Roman. And it also was a great and memorable moment. I mean, I think anybody who had been watching the show recognized that Seth Rollins was the MVP of Monday Night Raw at that time. So it made sense. It was fitting. It was right for Seth Rollins to get the cash in and to be the WWE champion. He absolutely earned it at that point. And it was just a great moment. It was a twist ending to WrestleMania that no one could have seen coming. And I'm pretty sure, with the exception of Roman Reigns' family, everybody went home happy. So that was, that's my number 3 moment. My number 2 moment is Dolph Ziggler cashing in Money in the Bank on Alberto Del Rio. Sorry, I used to love that. But when Ziggler came in and cashed in that Money in the Bank the night after WrestleMania, by the way, it was the night after a WrestleMania match between Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger that was the drizzling poops, as Steve Austin would say. The match wasn't good. I think Jack Swagger had originally been designated to win that title, but I think he got a DUI or something a few weeks before that, and I think they just put the kibosh on his push at that point. But that feud lost all of its steam heading into WrestleMania, and so that match, I was there. That match was dead. People were chanting for Ziggler to come cash in during that match. And Ziggler said that he was actually, during that match, he was standing by Gorilla just saying, like, hey, I'm here if you need me. And what an amazing audible that would have been to call if Ziggler cashed in at that moment at WrestleMania. But I'm actually glad they didn't, because that would have, eliminated the chance for Seth Rollins to be the first to do that at WrestleMania 31. But the moment took place the night after WrestleMania on the Raw after WrestleMania, which usually feels like a big deal. And Ziggler came out. The arena exploded in the biggest pop Ziggler's ever gotten, and he did the cash in. They tried to make it look like the cash in wasn't going to work, but it did. And it was a huge moment. It had to be the greatest moment of Dolph Ziggler's career, and it was great. It was great for everybody involved, everybody watching at home, everybody in the arena. Again, maybe, if you're like Alberto Del Rio's family or something, you probably didn't appreciate it. But everybody else, I'm sure, absolutely loved it. And finally, my number 1 Money in the Bank moment goes to Money in the Bank 2011. The John Cena versus CM Punk WWE Championship match. Now, this match didn't have anything to do with the Money in the Bank briefcase or a ladder match or anything like that, but this match was stemmed from what would probably be recognized as one of the greatest promos of this generation, CM Punk's pipe bomb. That set the stage for a lot. I mean, it really set the course of wrestling in another direction. I think it made a lot of people in WWE feel like, hey, maybe it's not just a myth that if you take a chance, step out and try to be bold, that you can move yourself into a feature spot. Now, CM Punk's relationship with the WWE would eventually go sour, as you guys all know, but this moment was amazing. That moment, that crowd was so hot. It was unlike anything I can remember seeing in wrestling. I mean, it was amazing. That was the type of, that's what you pay your ticket for, right? That's why you go to a live event, whether it be a football game where the viewing experience is much better at home, or pro wrestling where, again, the viewing experience is usually much better at home. You go to be in the crowd, to be in the atmosphere of everybody feeling the energy of something that you want to see happen actually take place. And that's what happened at that moment. It was absolutely huge. The crowd was rabid for CM Punk, man. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And, you know, the match itself, I thought wasn't great. I thought there was just, I thought there was maybe too much energy, right? I thought there was maybe like too much energy. And I think that they both felt the need to try and live up to the energy that was, you know, floating around that arena that night. And so the match had, you know, it had a few sloppy spots here and there. Now, I hate wrestling critics, so I'm not trying to be a wrestling critic here, but I thought the match wasn't as great as the atmosphere lent to it, right? But the moment was amazing. It was absolutely one, you know, that I'll never forget, and it's one that if WWE could, they would duplicate every pay-per-view because it was amazing, and that's the stuff that keeps you coming back. So those are my top 5 Money in the Bank moments. Let me know what you think. You can tweet me at TW Talking About. That's TWTALKINBOUT on Twitter. Thanks for listening, and let me know what you think.